All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little different.
Mm.
Yeah, we're going super retro.
Okay.
We're diving into Universal Bodybuilding's 12-week body shaping course.
Wow.
This thing's around for ages, like from 1965 to 2000.
That's a pretty good run.
Yeah, it's like imagine this whole program.
Mm.
Like they say it's for men and women, all ages.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and like it's written like they're talking directly to you,
Interesting.
like you're the student.
Mm.
So they're promising results, right? But they say it's all based on like scientific facts
Oh, okay.
about how your body responds to exercise and eating right and all that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so our listener today, right? They're busy.
Yeah, of course.
They want the good stuff, the core principles, without like getting bogged down.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. That's our mission today. We're going to pull out, like, what did they recommend right at the start? What was their whole philosophy about
Right.
training? What was their mindset stuff?
I like it. And even their early nutrition ideas. What was that all about?
Sounds like a fun challenge.
So, first off, where do they even tell people to begin?
Well, like right off the bat, first thing they say is go see your doctor.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Like, especially, they say if you've got any health issues already or, you know, if you're older,
Right.
it's like their big safety first thing.
Yeah. But it's funny because they're like super optimistic about it.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, oh, yeah, your doctor will totally be on board with you,
Yeah.
being in shape and stuff. They even say you should take the program to show your doctor.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it shows they were being responsible, right?
Definitely.
Even back then.
Mhm.
They knew you got to personalize this stuff. Like your doctor might say, hey, do this instead of that.
Mhm.
Or maybe start slower, you know, based on what your body can handle.
It's a good point. Everyone is different.
So, okay, so you've seen your doctor, got the all clear.
Yeah.
What's next? What did they
Yeah.
tell you to actually do? They get into the mental game right away.
Oh, really?
It's not enough to just like want to change.
Right.
You got to have that positive attitude and like really decide to make time.
Okay, so like discipline, commitment, that kind of thing.
Exactly. 3 times a week, no excuses.
I bet they heard all the excuses, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, oh, I wasn't born with the right genes, or
Yeah,
healthy food is too expensive, that kind of stuff.
probably.
But they shut it down, right?
Oh, yeah. They said it's all about putting in the effort and believing you can change.
And what's the big payoff? What do they promise?
Feeling like $1 million.
Okay.
That's what they say. Like, you know, having energy, feeling confident.
Even before you see huge changes in the mirror.
Exactly. They wanted you to trust the process.
Okay, so it's not just vanity, it's about how you feel, too.
Totally.
Now, did they focus just on, like, big muscles, or was it more than that?
They were all about total development,
Hmm.
working everything from like neck to calves.
Wow, head to toe.
They even prepped you for being sore at first,
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that's a good sign. Means your body's responding, working those muscles.
So no pain, no gain, huh?
Kind of, yeah. But they had a whole specific way of doing things.
Right, the universal bodybuilding way.
But they also surprised me. They were flexible too.
Oh, really? How so?
So, yeah, they had their program. They wanted you to stick to it, routines and diet.
Right.
But they knew everyone's got a different life.
Yeah. Different schedules, different needs.
Exactly. So they said, adjust things, make it work for you.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, and even with food,
Mm-hmm.
they weren't super strict. Like if you couldn't find a certain snack,
They wouldn't freak out.
no. They'd be like, do your best.
Okay.
Find something similar, or, you know, if you hated something, they said,
Yeah.
they had this protein chart in lesson 2
Oh, right.
to help you swap things out. Like they really liked milk, for example.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's like make it work, but within their guidelines.
So it's like structured, but you can personalize it a bit.
Exactly. It wasn't one size fits all, even back then.
That's cool. Now, how was this 12-week thing laid out? Like, what did it look like week by week?
They had it all planned out in these weekly lessons, building up each week.
Okay.
And they'd introduce more advanced stuff in the later weeks.
Right, but how strict were they about following the plan?
They were pretty adamant about their universal bodybuilding way.
Hmm.
Like, don't add exercises, don't skip them.
Unless your doctor said so, right?
Yeah, exactly. They really wanted you to trust their system.
But they also knew everyone progresses differently, right?
Oh, for sure. They even said, if you need more time on a lesson, stay there.
Take an extra week, don't rush it.
Yeah, if your body's not ready for the next step, listen to it.
So it's like, trust the program, but trust your body too.
Good balance.
How often were they telling people to train?
Just 3 times a week.
Oh, okay, not every day.
Nope. They said that way you avoid overtraining, getting burned out,
Yeah, makes sense. You need rest days.
and they said it leaves you time for other things.
Oh, like if you play sports or something?
Exactly. You didn't have to become a gym rat.
That's nice. Now, did they talk about safety at all, like equipment, that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, right away.
Okay, good.
Common sense stuff, like make sure your weights are secure,
Right.
benches are stable, no wobbly stuff, train on a flat surface.
Safety first.
Exactly. No need for accidents.
How long were these workouts, by the way?
They said around 15 minutes usually.
Okay, so pretty manageable.
Yeah. They knew people were busy, but they emphasized taking rest breaks.
Right, catch your breath.
Between each exercise, don't just rush through them.
Did they care more about how fast you did the exercises or more about how you did them?
Form was key, like especially when you're learning something new.
Okay, so do it right, even if it's slow.
Yeah. They said read the instructions carefully, don't just look at the pictures.
Good advice.
And then do the movements smoothly, controlled. Start slow until you get it right.
That's where they introduce those classic bodybuilding terms, right?
Reps and sets.
Yeah, reps and sets. For someone who's never heard those before.
Oh, yeah, they explain it clearly, like simple examples.
Okay, go on.
Like do 10 push-ups, that's one set of 10 reps.
Makes sense. Did they have any other practical tips, like what to wear?
They said comfortable clothes, nothing too tight, keep your muscles warm.
Okay, so like sweats, t-shirt, that kind of thing.
And they reassured people about soreness.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It's normal, they said, especially when you're starting out.
Right, your body's getting used to it.
Just temporary. Don't let it freak you out.
So it's part of the process.
Exactly.
But what if you miss a workout? Like, life gets in the way, you know?
Oh, they were pretty strict about that.
Okay.
Like, no skipping workouts because you're lazy.
Yeah.
Use your willpower, they said.
Yeah, I can hear them saying that.
But they also knew sometimes you get sick or things happen.
Right.
So you had to take a break. They said just pick up where you left off. Or even go back a week. Ease back into it.
That's good advice. Don't be afraid to adjust.
Now, this is kind of funny. They even had a tip about hygiene.
Really? What was that?
Take a shower every day, they said.
Oh, okay. Not exactly groundbreaking.
Not really. But they said it's for cleanliness and for your complexion.
So, like, part of taking care of yourself overall?
Right. It all ties together.
Okay, so we've talked about seeing the doctor, mindset, basic training stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about food? Did they talk about nutrition early on?
Yeah, they gave some initial guidance and then promised more in lesson 2.
Okay, tease it out a bit.
Big thing was avoid junk food.
Right, that's pretty standard advice.
Yeah. White bread, sugary cereals, all that stuff.
Now, what do they want you to eat instead?
Protein, protein, protein.
Meat, eggs, that kind of thing?
Yeah, all the classics. They really hammered home that protein builds muscle.
And that's still the message today, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Though the recommendations might be a bit different now.
But protein is still king.
For sure. Now, they also had different plans based on your goal.
Okay, so like if you wanted to lose weight versus gain weight.
Exactly. If you were underweight, overweight, or normal.
Normal.
That's what they call it.
So what was the general advice for like healthy eating?
Ditch the sugary snacks, eat more protein, fruits and veggies,
Okay, sounds familiar.
and eat light, balanced meals with healthy snacks throughout the day.
So basically eat good stuff often.
Yeah, and one thing they were adamant about,
What's that?
do not skip meals.
Really? Why so insistent on that?
They said it was all about keeping your body fueled and energized.
Makes sense. You need that energy to train.
And they were big on rest, too.
Oh yeah, sleep is important.
7 to 9 hours a night, they said.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, they said it's when your muscles repair and grow.
So all that hard work in the gym
It pays off when you rest.
makes sense. Now, these first few weeks, did they jump right into heavy lifting?
No, the first weeks were like their foundation course.
Okay, build the base.
They said some people might find it easy,
Yeah.
but it's crucial for getting ready for the harder stuff later.
So don't skip ahead, even if you're already fit.
And they had this warning about mixing their programs.
What programs?
Like they had 2 tracks, one with weights, one without.
Oh, right, for people who didn't have access to a gym.
Exactly. But they said don't try to do both at the same time,
Stick to
at
one.
least at first. Build that foundation.
Now, abs, were those just for weightlifters or did everyone do them?
Abs were for everybody.
Okay, everyone gets a six-pack.
They said it was good for everyone, regardless of your main program.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about that classic V shape?
Oh, yeah, they talked about that.
Like broad shoulders, narrow waist?
They had a specific exercise for that.
Which one?
Wide grip chin-ups.
Oh, yeah, those are tough.
They said it was key for building those lats, for that wider look.
So no shortcuts to the V shape.
Got to put in the work.
And remember, 3 workouts a week,
Yeah.
right?
That's right. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example.
Give yourself a day of rest in between.
Exactly. Recovery is important.
Okay, so those first few weeks, what were the actual sets and reps like?
Most exercises were one set of 8 to 12 reps,
Okay, not too bad.
except leg push-outs. Those were 2 sets of 15.
Oh, wow, more volume for legs.
And if an exercise had 2 sets, they said rest about a minute in between.
Catch your breath.
And for abs, they were just like, do as many as you can.
Yeah, just go for it.
So it's pretty clear, straightforward in those early lessons.
And what was their big message at the end of those first few lessons?
Everyone gains.
That's a good one.
Yeah, super positive, encouraging. Everyone can see results.
Got to start somewhere, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the overall philosophy, the basics. Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay, let's do it.
What were those week 1 assignments? Like day 1, what are you doing?
All right, so for the weight training track, week 1,
Yeah.
they had you doing a press, upright rowing, bench press, and squat.
Okay, classic move.
One set of 8 reps for each, except squat. They wanted 10 reps there.
Okay.
They're wide grip chin-ups, the back of your neck.
Oof, those are tough.
One set of 8 there. And leg push-outs, 2 sets of 15.
So hitting all those big muscle groups.
Exactly. But keeping the volume low to start.
So not overwhelming you right away.
Yeah, building up gradually.
Now, what about the body weight folks? What were they doing in week 1?
Okay, so they had feet elevated push-ups, one set of 8.
Using a share or something.
Probably, yeah. Then hack squats, one set of 12.
Oh, okay.
Wide grip chin-ups, same as the weight trainers.
One set 8.
Then reverse triceps push-ups.
What are those like?
I think you do them with your hands on a chair or something
Yeah.
to work those triceps. One set of 12 there.
Okay, so similar idea to the weight training.
Hitting those major muscle groups,
Yeah.
but using body weight for resistance.
And everyone was doing abs, right?
Absolutely. Those were non-negotiables.
So what were the ab exercises for week 1?
Leg push-outs and alternate leg kicks.
How do you do a leg push out?
They said you sit down, legs straight out, then pull your knees in.
Oh, okay, like a reverse crunch kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so. 2 sets of 15 for those.
And alternate leg kicks.
They said lean back, kick each foot up high, as many as you can.
So getting that core working.
Exactly.
All right, so that's week 1, laying the foundation. What happens in week 2? Do they crank things up?
Surprisingly, no.
Really?
They have you repeat week 1 exactly.
Oh, interesting.
Same exercises, same sets and reps.
What was the thinking behind that?
They said it was about solidifying that foundation, really stimulating growth.
Okay, so like let your body get used to the movements.
Yeah, get those muscles working.
And they probably reminded you about sleep.
Oh, definitely. 7 to 9 hours every night.
Gotta recover.
And they emphasize sticking to the plan, especially those first few weeks.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, prevent soreness, fatigue, all that.
Yeah.
Build consistency.
And then later on, they'd start pushing you harder.
Yeah, they hinted at that. Increasing reps, that kind of thing.
Now, what about weightlifters? How much weight were they supposed to be using?
In those first 2 weeks, they said start with something challenging, but not too heavy.
Right. Find that sweet spot.
Don't pamper yourself, they said.
I like that.
And they acknowledged, for some exercises like squats and bench press,
Yeah.
you'll be stronger.
Makes sense.
So you might use more weight there.
So how do you know if you need to increase the weight?
They said if it starts to feel too easy, add 5 pounds.
Okay, so like if you can easily do all the reps.
And bump it up. For squats, maybe add a bit more.
And they knew some people would hit their limit quickly.
Yeah, like if you're already pretty strong,
But they said the important thing is that you're getting a good workout.
pushing those muscles.
Makes sense. Now, what about the mental side of things? Did they talk about that in week 2?
Yeah, they started emphasizing concentration.
Okay, like focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, really connect with the muscles you're working.
So like, don't just go through the motions.
They even said visualize those muscles getting bigger, stronger.
Okay, so like mind-muscle connection.
And they had this interesting tip.
What's that?
Flex your muscles during your rest periods.
Really? Why?
They said it helps maintain that focused mindset.
Huh, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Okay, so we've covered training, mindset. Now let's talk about the food.
The fuel.
Yeah. What did lesson 2 say about nutrition?
Protein was the star of the show.
Okay, no surprise there.
They called it the super formula for building muscle.
So meat, eggs, fish, all that.
All the good stuff. They said the more you eat, the faster you grow.
Okay, but did they have any specific guidelines on how much to eat?
Yeah, they got pretty specific.
Okay.
They recommended 6 smaller meals throughout the day.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of meals.
Yeah, instead of the usual 3 big ones.
And why was that?
They said your body can only absorb so much protein at once.
Makes sense.
Like a maximum of 22 grams per meal, they said.
Okay, so spread it out.
They even gave a sample meal plan.
Really? What was on it?
Oh, yeah, eggs and bacon for breakfast, cottage cheese and fruit later.
Okay, sounds pretty good.
Meat and veggies for lunch, stuff like that.
So a pretty balanced approach.
Yeah, and it added up to around 126 grams of protein per day.
Wow, that's a lot of protein.
They suggested this for people who were at a healthy weight or maybe a little overweight.
Right, because if you're trying to gain weight,
Then you'd need even more.
so lots of protein, multiple meals. What else?
They were big on variety.
Okay, like don't just eat chicken breast every day.
Exactly. Get your protein from at least 3 different sources.
Like meat, eggs, and milk, for example.
Yeah, or even some veggies. They wanted you to get a good mix of nutrients.
Did they have a list of protein sources, like a cheat sheet?
Oh yeah, they had a whole protein guide.
Cool.
Listed all sorts of foods and how much protein they had.
Were there any surprising ones?
Oh, let me see. Half a cup of cottage cheese has 20 grams.
Wow, that's more than I thought.
And liver was up there, 24 grams per serving.
Liver, huh? Not everyone's favorite.
And then, of course, milk, 33 grams per quart.
So, plenty of options.
And a good way to plan your meals.
Okay, now let's talk about gaining weight. What was their advice for that?
They called it bulking up and training down.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
It's a classic bodybuilding concept.
So, eat more to gain weight, but then later you lose the fat
Exactly. They said you got to push your body weight up,
to really build muscle.
even if it means gaining some fat temporarily.
So, accept a little fluff for the gains.
And then later you train down to reveal the muscle.
Okay, but did they say how much weight to gain?
They said weigh yourself monthly to track your progress.
Okay, so keep an eye on the scale,
And they suggested eating more frequently, bigger portions.
like adding snacks, desserts, that kind of thing.
Yeah, their sample meal plan for weight gain had milk with every meal
Interesting.
and snacks like peanut butter sandwiches, even
Yeah.
pie and cake.
Wow, that's a fun diet.
They were all about getting those calories in.
And they mentioned those super weight gain malts again.
Yeah, they promised those recipes later on.
They help you pack on the pounds.
Exactly. So for weight gain, it was all about eating more of everything.
Okay, but what about if you wanted to lose weight?
Then it was a different story.
Okay, what did they recommend for that?
First thing was cut out the junk.
No surprise there.
Processed foods, white flour, sugar, all gone.
Tough, but necessary.
But they still emphasized protein.
Even for weight loss.
Yeah, they said it's crucial for tissue repair.
So not just for muscles, but for your whole body.
Blood, organs, skin, everything. They said 2/3 of your diet should be protein.
Wow, that's a lot.
And the rest, fresh fruits and veggies, nuts, seeds.
So basically a clean and lean diet.
They specifically mentioned liver, fish, eggs, powdered milk as good sources.
Interesting choices.
And still, 6 meals a day.
To keep your metabolism going,
And they said it helps shrink your stomach over time.
so you feel fuller on less food.
They gave a sample weight loss meal plan too.
Okay, how did that compare to the weight gain one?
Way fewer calories.
Like how much fewer?
Around 800 to 1,000 less than your maintenance level.
And how do you figure out your maintenance level?
They said roughly 15 calories per pound of body weight.
Okay, so you do the math based on your current weight.
Exactly. So for weight loss, it was all about cutting calories, but keeping protein high.
So 2 very different approaches, but protein is still key for both.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're moving into week 3 now. Lesson 3.
All right.
Anything new happening this week?
Yeah, they shift the focus to chest development.
Okay, time to build that chest.
They were talking about getting some serious size.
Like how big?
They mentioned guys getting up to 49-inch chests.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, it was a big deal back then.
So how did they approach chest training this week?
They introduced this thing called exercise grouping.
What's that?
It means you do exercises for the same muscle group together.
Okay, so all your chest exercises back to back?
Yeah, they called it fleshing up the muscles.
Interesting. And they said it helps with growth.
Yeah, something about concentrating the effort in one area.
Makes sense. Now, what were the specific chest exercises for week 3?
For non-weight trainers, they had push-ups between chairs.
Okay, so you need 3 chairs for this one.
Yeah, or boxes or something sturdy. You put your hands on 2 chairs.
And your body dips down between them.
Exactly, to really stretch and work those pecs.
They said aim for 8 reps.
Yeah, and they emphasize this as a great way to build chest without weights.
So no excuses if you don't have a gym.
Now, for weightlifters, they had the straight arm pullover.
Okay, I've heard of those.
You lie on a bench, hold a barbell overhead, arms straight.
Yeah, and you lower it back behind your head.
Slowly, they said, and breathe in as you lower it.
Deep breath.
And then exhale as you pull it back up.
So, controlling the movement?
They said it works the chest and expands your rib cage.
That makes sense. For a bigger chest overall.
Now, they also talked more about that bulking up and training down.
No, right. They teased that before.
They really went into detail this time.
Hard to say.
They called it a unique secret for building muscle fast.
Okay, the secret's out.
Especially for arms and chest.
So the idea is to intentionally gain weight.
More than you might normally think.
To really push those muscles to grow.
Exactly. They said it applies to almost everyone.
Even if you think you're already at a good weight.
You want more size, you got to bulk up first.
And they admitted you might gain some fat.
Yeah, they said you might get a little softer around the middle.
But the focus is on getting those muscles bigger.
And they reassured everyone that the fat can come off later.
During the training down phase.
But you keep most of the muscle you built.
So it's a trade-off, but they thought it was worth it.
They really pushed it as a key technique.
But they did say it wasn't for everyone, right?
Yeah, if you're already significantly overweight, this might not be the best approach.
Makes sense. Now, this is where those weight-gaining malts come in, right?
Oh yeah, the famous malt.
They finally gave the recipes.
Strawberry, banana, ice cream, and chocolate.
Wow, a malt for every taste.
They said these are in addition to your 6 meals.
So even more food on top of all that.
They were serious about packing on the pounds.
And what about the weight loss folks? Did they get anything special this week?
They got a recipe for an orange juice mix.
Orange juice, huh? What's in it?
Orange juice, honey, and a raw egg.
Interesting combination. What was the point of that?
They said it was low calorie, but high protein.
Okay, so you get your protein without a lot of calories.
You could have it instead of a meal or as a snack.
To keep your energy up without overdoing it.
Exactly.
Okay, so lots of new stuff in Lesson 3. What did the workouts actually look like this week?
For weightlifters, they added the straight arm pullover.
Okay, one set of 12 reps.
The rest of their workout stayed pretty much the same.
So just adding that one new exercise.
For non-weight trainers, they got the push-ups between chairs.
One set of 8.
And they changed the alternate leg kicks a bit.
How so?
Now it was 2 sets, as many reps as you could do.
So pushing you a little harder.
Yes, slowly increasing the intensity.
Makes sense. Okay, moving on to Lesson 4.
All right.
What's the big topic this week?
Progressive training.
Okay, what's that all about?
They're addressing the fact that your progress might slow down.
Yeah, you hit a plateau.
You're still working hard, feeling stronger.
But the gains aren't coming as fast.
Exactly. And they reassured everyone that you're still making progress.
Like you're fitter than you were before.
But if you want to keep seeing those gains,
you need to change things up.
And that's where progressive training comes in.
So what's the basic idea behind it?
It's about constantly challenging your muscles.
Okay, don't let them get comfortable.
They use this analogy of Hercules and the calf.
Hercules and the calf.
Yeah, like the myth. The calf grows into a bull.
Oh, all right.
And Hercules keeps lifting it every day, getting stronger as the calf gets bigger.
So like slowly increasing the challenge over time.
Exactly. Your muscles need that to keep growing.
So how do you actually do progressive training?
For weightlifters, they said get a notebook.
Okay, track your progress.
Write down how many reps you do for each set.
Okay, so like if I'm doing bench press.
Let's say you start with 60 pounds.
Sure.
Maybe you get 12 reps on the first set, 10 on the second, 8 on the third,